Oh, it gives me 30 seconds. I see. Once I click go live, it gives me 30 seconds to count down anyway. So I have the YouTube window open to see if the countdown comes up. Oh, yes, I'll mute myself too. Of course, the Discord notifications don't turn off. Now the live timer went back to 40 seconds. What's happening? 50 seconds. Oh, no, it's how long we've been live. I see what it's doing. I'm confused. Try it this way. Let's see. Hey everybody, welcome to our first Brickworld live stream. I am Mark Larson. I'm the Chief Brick Officer of Brickworld. You can follow me on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, probably TikTok too, with at Brickworld. We haven't put anything up on TikTok yet, but we may soon, this year maybe. We are talking tonight about planning for Brickworld. So if you are joining us here for the first time, which everybody is because it's our first live stream, but if you are joining us here at Brickworld in Chicago in June of this year for the first time, we're going to go over the basics of how to register, how to set up your display space, and how to register your for your MOC cards. And we'll go over that in some detail. We'll be as quick as we can about it, and then we'll get to a live Q&A. I also have with me tonight our friend Phoebe Schwabe. Hey, Phoebe, how are you doing tonight?
Hi. Good. How are you?
Good, good, thank you. The Phoebe is our newest staff member, so you'll be talking a lot of times to either her or Nicole about things through email or at the show about any of your needs when you're there. Phoebe's been a staff member for a little over a year now at our expos and has been helping us out a lot. And she's now on staff, so she's going to be helping keep me on task tonight, making sure that I don't miss anything, making sure I don't forget anything, making sure I don't swear, and making sure that we stick to the agenda and get everything done quickly. So thanks for being here, Phoebe. Welcome, welcome. All right, so let's get started right away here. So our first topic for the evening is how just to register for Brickworld. How do we do this? So hold on one second. Having some technical difficulties in that it's difficult for me to work with new technology. And there we go. So this is the Brickworld website here. So if you are going to register for Brickworld for the first time, what you would do is go to the convention tab, go to general information. There is a lot of information on this page. And we are working on getting it a little bit more concise. We are working on redesigning this, but we may have this for this year and for most of the time when people are registering for the show right now. If we are able to change it before the show starts, we'll build a new tutorial for you guys to check out. The way to do this now, if you look at this, yes, there's a lot of information. However, on this first page, there's a link here in red. It says, should I be badged FAQ? So if you click on that link, it brings you to an FAQ that tells you the difference between getting a 5-day badge, getting a 2-day badge, and just being a public expo guest, which would just take buying tickets through Eventbrite. Down here, it tells you how to purchase a badge, create a Brickworld account, and this link here will take you to creating an account. And then once you created the account, log into your Brickworld account. And then once you're on that page, it'll give you the option to purchase a badge. So I'm going to jump right to that page, which is here under the account menu item here. Brings down a little sub menu, and under account is my page. You click on my page, and it brings you all the information that you need to attend the show. So here, first one, we're going to skip book my room for a little bit because there's a lot to unpack there this year. Right here would be purchase badge to attend convention. You can see I have 2 badges purchased right here. Which do you click on that link, and you want a full convention bag. And there's all sorts of things for you to fill out in this form, all sorts of rules to read through and click that you understand. Go through these very quickly. You have the option here. Do you want a goodie bag or do you not want a goodie bag? The goodie bag is $25. The basic badge is $85. So you add all this up, it's $110 to attend the convention for the whole week with the goodie bag. We are down to 119 goodie bags left. So if you're interested in getting a goodie bag, I would register and purchase that goodie bag now. We did increase it this year by 100. So we are almost almost at the level of the increase that we added. So first name, last name. The reason it says here, screen names will be rejected. We need to know your full legal name. We need your information. That's the other reason that we ask you to register for a website account first, is that we want you, you need to give us the information that we have for address, email address, phone number, making purchases. And it's just easier to get that from the beginning so that we're not bugging you with for that information down the road. And screen names aren't legal names, and that doesn't help us any. This is another thing that we have. We need to know how to contact you on site for liability's sake, so please use your real legal name here. If you are under 18, you need to have an adult au pair with you. We can't let any attendees that are under the age of 18 attend without a parent or guardian. And if you check that attendee will not be 18 and will have a badged adult, but there is no badged adult on the registration, we'll have to contact you to find out what's going on and get you a parent or guardian registered. This is that you understand the refund policy. Let us know if you're a first-time attendee or not, because we like to track that, see how many first-time attendees we have coming. We had about 50% of our attendees last year were first-time attendees, and we want to be able to send you information that we won't send to people who have been there before. So we want to keep you up to date on things that are going to be brand new to you, to help you through the process of getting to Brickworld for the first time. Make sure that you know as much as you can, know as much as possible before you get there, to make your experience as positive as possible. If you're part of a lug, go ahead and fill it out here. If you do want to use a screen name instead, you can enter it down here, and it'll give you the option to use that on the registered attendee list that we publish publicly on the site. That way, if you don't want your real legal name posted on our website, you can use your screen name instead. Then you add that to the carts. And that's the basics of how to log in. How to create an account and then get your full badge for the Chicago convention. And that'll get you fully registered. Phoebe, am I missing anything? Anything confusing there? Anything you think I should clarify before we move on?
No, I think that's about right. Maybe just also mention that you can also purchase engraved brick badge bricks,
Definitely.
which is 3 for $12. So there'll be 3 spaces to type in what you want engraved on each brick. So that's a some people get confused of whether it's 1 or 2 or 3 or more. So and that is not your convention Brickworld 2023 badge. It's 3 whatever you want to engrave on them badges.
Correct, and we definitely have that later in the presentation on how to get that ordered. But just to let you know, if you're getting that to get the Brickworld commemorative brick, every registered attendee, if you get the brick badge or not, gets the 1x8 brick that says Brickworld Chicago 2023 on it. This year's color is dark gray. When it says Brickworld printed badge, that is the badge to get you in the door that security will be checking. That does not mean it's a brick badge. And then, all of this other stuff down here, obviously. We'll get to badges in a little bit, but great point. I think I thought we had added something to possibly get your brick badge on this page. Yes, we did. Because it's here in the
Yeah, I think it just doesn't appear to let you put in to select it until after you start putting in the name and all that stuff.
Gotcha. Let's see. All right. See what I know about the company that I'm the chief brick officer of. I don't know necessarily how to register for a badge if I already own the company and already have my page set up for a long time. So the next thing we're going to go over is how to register your display space. Once you've got your badge, and you are, once you have your account and you've registered for your convention badge, you'll have this page here. Again, it's under my account. It's under my page. That's where you purchased your badge. This is where you can manage everything else for your convention experience. So the first thing we're going to talk about right here under my convention stuff is my display space. This is where you register for the space that you're going to display in. The reason I emphasize that is because we have two headings that are very similar. And the other one is MOC Cards, which, in case you don't know, the whoops, sorry, wrong one. MOC means is an acronym for My Own Creation. So there's a link on your My Page as well to register for your MOC Cards. And registering for MOC Cards does not automatically get you display space. It only gets you the card. So if you don't register for your display space before you register for your MOC Cards, you won't have any space to display those MOCs in. So this is the display space page. Now I've already entered a display space. When you get to this, it'll say that you have no display spaces registered, and it'll give you just this button, add another space. That's the button that you click, even if this table here is empty. So we'll go through this now. If you click add another space, it automatically says MOCs here because a lot of people just bring their MOCs and put them up on a table. If you have a display name, it does help us to keep everything separate on the display map. So if you do have a name, even if you want to give a collective name to the MOCs that you're bringing, it does help us out a bit. However, MOCs is just fine. But I'm going to go ahead and enter this in here as I'm going to say Fabuland Orchard House. And I'm going to put my first name and wait a minute. Oh, the whole name, sorry. My whole name in here, log affiliation, which is none. You can leave it blank. Your email address and name of any other collaborators that are part of what you are entering the display space for. So if you are part of a lug and you're entering a collaborative display, you can put all the other names of the collaborators in here, or part of a group that's collaborating, put the names of all the other collaborators in here. It also is fine to just put in your lug name here. This Eurobricks lug is going to be part of this, and this is pretend, so it's not real. But so you're asked for your age group down here because 18 and over gets put into the regular category for all awards. 13 to 17 is a different category. 8 to 12 is another category. Under 8 is another category. And by checking these, we won't put the last name on the MOC cards just for security reasons. So I'm 18 and over, so I'm going to click that and I'm going to hit next. So for this display space request, it's one table. And if it's one table, you just go through the rest of the basics, which are, do you need a tablecloth? Do you need electricity? Real quick on the electricity. If you need electricity to recharge battery packs, please do your best to get your battery packs charged somewhere off the floor. We do pay per electric drop, which is fine. If you need that, if you need it there, you need convenience for it, that's great. We'll have power there for you. But just keep in mind that it's something that's an expense to the show, and it's less money for us to do other things. So if you have another way to charge phones, battery boxes, etc., please do so instead of requesting a electricity drop. Hit next after that. And this is for categories right here. So for mine, it's a fantasy display. So I'm just going to click. And if you don't care, or if you don't even want to think about this, don't even worry about it. It's something we do more internally. Click fantasy displays for if you have a fantasy display. That's what I'm doing. And hit next there. And right here, you can put any additional description or comments. This is mostly for like, give us an idea if you're bringing your own tables, or if you want something special like, I'm going to have a curtain in my display, or like, my display is 10 feet off the floor. Something like that. Something where you're going to do something different. You want it to be, this is also where you can say like that you want, I'll do this one because I like it a lot. I would like lowered tables because you have that option. You can lower your tables so that they're more accessible for children or people with different abilities. We also have heightened tables in case you want to create a tiered display of a lower table, a regular size table, and a heightened table. That helps us a lot when we have lugs that are submitting one display and they have a lot of people just displaying MOCs. To put them on a 3-tiered system saves us the depth of space, and we are running out of room in Brickworld, Chicago. We have 100,000 square feet to fill, and we are getting to the point where we're bursting at the seams in that 100,000 square feet. And if you're thinking about coming to Brickworld, register as soon as you can and get your display space requests in, because we do have a point where we need to stop taking display space requests because we'll run out of room. And that's a real danger this year, because we've had a lot of display space requests, a lot of hotel requests, a lot of hotel bookings, I mean. And our registrations are about 400 under what they were last year at the end, not at this time, 400 under the entire year for 2022. So we're asking you to check on a few things here. For display rules, you understand that you're committing to set up your display during setup days of the event, and that you must keep it up. So the first part is that you're setting it up during the setup days, and that you're not trying to come in on Saturday, which is the first public day, and set up while the public is coming into the room, or even before, because there's a lot of logistics involved in getting 100,000 square feet of Lego fans set up with all of their displays. So if you're trying to set up Saturday morning, there's a lot already going on. The room is full, not a lot of room to move in, not a lot of room to set up or move tables around. So you're agreeing to that, and we've got a record of this because you clicked on it and you agreed. But that you must keep your display set up through the closing of the show on Sunday afternoon. The reason that we say this is that we want anybody who shows up at 10 a.m. on Saturday morning to have the same experience as the person that stays until 3 p.m. on Sunday. And we don't want a bunch of empty tables in the room. So if you're like trying to catch a flight, or you're trying to do this, or you're trying to do that, if you don't click this button, you can't submit your display space request. So you're agreeing to this. If something like this happens where you agree and you take off anyway, we will probably not allow you to have display space the following year. And then the other thing we have down here is just basic rules for how we want to run the convention respectfully. So click on that when you agree to it, hit submit, and your display space is in. And you can, down here there's a little menu for like display, it'll scroll through all of your display space requests. And at any time you can delete an entry or edit an entry. If you want to go here and change anything, it takes you back through the entire it takes you back through all of the information that you just submitted. And then I'm just going to go back to my page here. At any time you could also, pardon me, delete any of the entries that you're asking for your display space in case you want to create something completely different, or you change the parameters of what you're bringing. You can go in and edit. We do appreciate you dropping an email to layout@brickworld.com if you do so. Don't worry about that now. If you're just getting started, give it some thought before you put this display space request in, because again, we're at capacity. So we want to make sure that everybody can get in. So I'm going to go ahead and add another space here. I'm going to go ahead and call it MOC. So I'm going to say that my name is Mark Larson, because it is. So I'm going to go through this again, and what's different here is if you're getting a single table, it's very easy for us to drop into a display space, right? If you want more space than that, there's a lot more questions. So first thing is like, what's the shape of your display? And it gives you an example of like solid surface of tables, O-shaped ring, U-shaped ring, right? Floor space means you're bringing your own tables, or it's something that sits directly on the floor. So let's go with U-shaped table layout. Pardon me. Getting over bronchitis, so it's not conducive for running a live stream because I can't edit out all these coughing breaks. So we're asking you for the size of this U-shaped ring here. So I actually prefer this to be in feet. We do have several options, like what is it by 32 stud base plates? What is it by 48 stud base plates? You can go inches instead. You can count it out by studs. I really would never want to see that happen. So what's this here? Overall table floor main viewing width. So this is the main side of the U. So you're going to give us this parameter in this measurement, right? And then the depth. So what's the width? What's the depth? What can you see from the front? And then how deep does it go from the viewer spot? So I'm just going to say that I'm going to go feet. I'm going to go 16. And then, And then depth, I'm going to go 10.5. And I've done that here because I know that we have 8 by 2.5 foot tables. So that that's going to be 2 tables in front, 2 tables on each side behind the first 2 tables. We get a lot of different answers to this. And what we want here is the table size mostly. If you have to give us this in 32 stud base plates instead, that's great. We'll figure out how it works in a on our tables. But if you can give us the table space that you need, that's ideal for us. So I'd hit next here. And let's see, it's going. And with the space between tables, this is something if you have bridges, like you have a train layout where you have bridges between tables, or you have such a large layout that you want an entrance for people to get in, or you have somebody in your group who has different abilities and needs a accessible entrance. And in that case, I would put it up to 3 feet. The depths of space between tables, again, it'd be like if you're looking at us from the front, it's the width, and then how far back does it go from the viewer? And then you could say 0 there because you only want one entrance. At this point, if you're working with multiple entrances, I would request that you send us a display layout map to layout@brickworld.com. And then need tablecloths. Most of these are going to be yes. If you have something else that you put up around, like say you have a club tablecloth that you want to put the logos on so people know where the club is from, and you bring your own tablecloths, or like a table skirting, or you have some other sort of setup that you already have stuff like this for, great. Just click no. If you need tablecloths, we have them. Need electricity, again, a larger club is probably going to need something, especially if they're running trains. Just click yes on this one. So the specific layout of my tables is flexible because I have smaller individual MOCs, and it's not a predetermined layout. So I'm going to go ahead and say no to that. My display can be viewed from, I'm going to say 2 or 3 sides. I'm going to say this is bigger and there's stuff going on all sides, and we want guests to be able to see all of them there. But think about this before you send it, especially if you have a smaller layout. We don't offer this for one table layouts unless you send us a special request. We had a couple last year. That were some people who had some bigger things that they would only fit on one table. We had one on a cocktail table that was viewable on all sides. We put up stanchions around all of the tables so that they're protected from the public and people reaching and grabbing, especially kids. And again, there's a lot of display space requests and a lot of fans who want to come and show their stuff. So for the smaller displays that are less than 4 tables, we typically don't want you to have all 4 sides viewable, because that takes up a lot of space, because we got to put aisles on all 4 sides for just 4 tables. And we want to make sure that everybody has a chance to display their MOCs at the show, as many people as possible, before we hit the capacity of the 100,000 square feet that we have there. So I'm going to say it's 2 or 3 sides. I'm going to hit next and ask me some more questions. This is the loading song. Again, I'm just going to say that this is Pirates. Oh, no, I'm going to go steampunk. This is steampunk. I love this display. I'm getting excited about it. And the last question I'll ask you before moving through, if I actually can click the button, there we go. Additional comments or descriptions like we went through before. This is delete request. I'm just going to put this in here so that the layout coordinators know that this is me in case I forget to delete it. I'm going to agree to these terms, hit submit, and you're there. So that's something that like we don't tell you in the display space request form that this is a complicated request. We don't know what you're talking about, but our layout coordinators will message you if they see a display space request like this to find out if you can send a diagram or ask any other clarifying questions that they might have. If it's not clear through this, or if we've got weird measurements or something that we don't understand, we will send you an email to clarify. So that is adding display space. Our next topic is how to register for your MOC cards. And again, if you missed it before, MOC is an acronym that means my own creation. So that's back on my page, which I could have gotten there by hitting the return to my page link from the add display space. Now I'm going to do my MOCs down here. So this is separate. When you hit this link, my MOCs, this isn't automatically going to get you display space for these mocks. All this is getting you is a little tent card that has the name of your creation, who created it, and all these other parameters are on the back, and they're for the awards coordinators. But again, when you get to this table for the first time, this will be blank. It'll say no matching records or something webby like that. So it's going to say add another mock, even if this table is empty. So let's go ahead and walk through this real quickly. Add another mock. Creation name, again, I'm going to go with the Fabuland. Or hey, what do you know? Fabuland Orchard House. I'm going to make my fake name because I'm not eligible for awards. And so I don't even want my real name on stuff. Plus, when I do stuff for my collaborative, I don't want people to think that it's swayed by the owner of Brickworld being part of the collaborative. So I put a fake name in. At me if that's horrible, because I haven't thought of a bad a reason that would be terrible yet. But if I'm wrong, let me know and I will adjust my thinking. So this question here, has this creation been displayed at Brickworld before? The reason that we ask this question is because we are trying to get as many new creations into the awards categories, the awards nominations as possible. So you can click significantly modified, and that's a better chance to get into the categories. If it's been there before, we're probably not going to nominate it. We want to get as many new things in there as possible. There are so many creations in there that we're trying to work on something that wasn't part of the award selection from a previous year. But if you do bring something new and you've worked on it and something that's like your passion and you bring it every year, but you significantly modify it, click significantly modified. The Orchard House does happen to be new. And then down here, desired award category. If you click none, we're going to assume that you don't want to be eligible for awards. And perhaps because not everybody's creations fit into the categories that we're giving awards for. So Phoebe, can you remind me, take a note? Sorry to treat you as a secretary, but this is something we can probably change. And unfortunately, this is happening live. But I think what we should do is change these from radio buttons to checkboxes. So if somebody wants to be in several categories, they're not sure where they fit. None doesn't necessarily mean that they don't want to be eligible for awards. It might just mean that they don't see a category that their creation fits in. And so we need to have a separate box for I don't want to be eligible for awards. So we're doing this live, folks. I think this is really important for people to know that we take awards seriously because we know that you take them seriously. So we want to get as much communication from you as possible about what's important to you. And if these are categories, like say that you have an original pop culture train, you want to be able to click both of these together so that the awards judges, because they are separate, we have several groups of judges going around the room who are in charge of specific categories. So if someone has put something in the list as I'm pop culture and replica train, those people can confer about that creation.
Your sound's going out there, Mark.
My sound is?
Yes.
Okay, great. I love that. That makes me very happy. What was there anything that was unclear that I said? What happened? Oh no. This is insane.